second attempt.
It looks green, which is a good sign.
What am I looking for exactly?
Just that bottom.
Sorry, I shouldn't speak into
That's
this.
okay. Speak to it. But I think we're good for now.
Oh.
Welcome back.
That only took like 25 minutes to figure out.
Yeah, that was an interesting change in technical difficulties. Just move your router to a different part of the house. It's
Sometimes
that easy.
it's the simplest solutions that work.
I think you deserve more credit for how tech savvy you are.
Oh. Coming from you, that means a lot.
I think
Thank
I
you.
seem tech savvy, and people, including you, ask me lots of questions that I don't know the answers to. But then suddenly you'll try something, and it just works. So we started this stream 25 minutes ago,
Yep.
and I feel like I normally do a pretty good job, testing things out. Not too long ago, I did a live stream test directly with the laptop from the couch, just to see like how good is the speed, how stable is it, and it was like high bit rate, 30 minutes of streaming, no lag, 0 frame drops, and then we come in here, do it for real, instantly terrible connection, and you're like, just bring the router in here. And I was like, oh, Louise, what do you know?
Stupid wife.
My words,
You're
exactly.
the tech genius
No.
here.
But
Well, maybe the universe was pulling an April Fool's prank on you.
I guess so. Although people in the chat were bringing up, it's not April Fool's for many people watching this.
Well, you're not the one streaming. It's still
That's true.
April 1st here, so that's what matters.
It's based where we're live, exactly. So, we haven't done this for a while, have we?
Yeah, I think the last podcast or stream we did together was March of 2020.
Oh, wow.
So it's been
About 2 years since
over 2 years.
you've been live. Well, we've done like haircutting streams here and there.
Oh, yeah, but
It was pretty rare.
not like a sit-down thing like this.
Yeah.
So yeah, the pandemic, that's been going on for over 2 years now.
Yep. I think we've spent more of our marriage in the pandemic than out, unfortunately.
Yeah, and this is our
But
4th year of marriage.
yeah, we're coming up on the 4th. I just want to say you're the best person to quarantine with.
Oh,
You're
here's
you've made
$20.
it easy. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
I gotta keep saying nice things. Good morning, Alexander. Halami. You got the beginning. Hey, Ben, Scott. Hello, Erickson's. I thought the stream was going to be an April Fool's joke. Believe it or not,
It was.
that wasn't the intention, but T-Mobile Home Internet pulled a April Fool's joke on us. So now we can do it legit.
Yeah.
First Talks podcast of the year, and man, in the past 2 years, so much has changed. I feel like
Yeah.
both in my exterior
Physical,
and
mental
health, emotional health.
financial,
Emotional damage. Financial health, true, that's
spiritual.
changed. This house wasn't paid off 2 years ago, was it?
Oh, no. 2 years ago, today was,
Oh, it was.
yeah,
This
today's
very
the
day.
anniversary of us paying our house off.
So we owe a lot of that to you guys. Thank you for watching and supporting, because it's helped secure our future.
Yeah.
And I'm very grateful for that.
Plus the $1 million inheritance didn't hurt, so
Right.
thank you, Uncle
I keep
Joe.
forgetting about that little rounding error in our bank account. But
The what?
there's a little rounding error in our bank
Oh,
account.
yeah.
Just all those zeros, I forget they're there. /S, in case you're curious. We didn't inherit that much.
We didn't
Or
hear anything.
Which isn't that much.
But actually, we did have a family member pass away last year. It was a Drew's family member,
That was sad.
and their memorial is tomorrow.
Mhm.
So it's going to be an emotional day.
Yeah, that will be tough. But on a more positive note, what's this year hopefully going to be about?
So,
Or has been about? It's been going for a while.
yeah, we're
A quarter
3
in.
months, 4 months in.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the theme of the year is just saying yes. Like yes to opportunities and yes to adventure and just like keeping your mind open, you know? It's like that movie Yes Man.
Yeah.
You know, he just said yes to everything that came his way, and then he like learned Japanese, or was it Korean?
Korean. Yeah.
And then
He took flying lessons.
Yeah, he learned how to play guitar, and he saved a man's life.
They don't acknowledge how expensive that would be.
What, guitar lessons?
Well, pilot lessons are just really expensive. It's like
Yeah.
thousands and thousands of dollars.
I've actually done a couple.
Oh, really?
I had 2 lessons in Australia.
Oh, wow.
You don't remember this?
Well, I've never been there, but you may have told me about it,
Yeah.
and I just
It was like
don't remember.
$250 for an hour. And I was so scared the whole time. I'm actually scared of heights, so I'm not sure why I thought it was a good idea. To be like, let's take some pilot lessons.
Well, you're not like I've flown with you many times. That doesn't.
Yeah,
bother
when
you.
I'm not flying, then it's okay.
So it's not necessarily the height. It's like
Yeah.
the fear of falling.
Well, when you're in a smaller plane, it feels a lot more real that you're like thousands of feet up in the air.
I see.
Versus on a big plane, it's like, oh, we're on a train right now.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're in this little tube, and the windows are so small anyway.
Yeah.
You're not even really thinking about what's going on most of the
Exactly.
time.
You're just focused on the TV in front of you.
I was annoyed that there's still a lot of airlines that have to have the TV on the seat in front of you.
Yeah, that really bugged you on
Especially
American.
at night. Yeah, because we were boarding our plane.
We'll tell them where we went, first of all.
Well, yeah, if you're on this channel, you've probably seen some of the vlogs at least, or at least caught some of the thumbnails that at one point earlier in the year we went and said yes to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
And
January. We went for 2 weeks.
And that was really fun, but we had to board the plane at like midnight,
Oh, yeah.
and all of the screens by design had to be playing Venom Let There Be Carnage no matter what. It was like I tried to turn it off, but it doesn't change the fact that whenever there's an announcement, all the screens come back on.
Yeah.
And they're bright. They're not like OLED displays. Right? They're really in your face, and they turn on for everyone.
It's more like a mild inconvenience because you could shut them off by lowering the screen brightness all the way to 0. But then, like you said, it would keep popping up every time there was
And it
an
doesn't
announcement.
stop everyone else's screen, which
That's
is pretty
true.
bright. Like you could be sitting right next to someone, and if their screen is on,
This is why I brought
Oh.
not a face mask, an eye mask. And I was wearing my face mask. So it's kind of funny. Drew took a picture of me and my whole face was
covered
just covered.
everything. Just need a helmet to bring with you on the plane.
Headphones, a ski mask, a helmet,
Pretty much.
a beanie.
Yeah, I did not care for that United flight. There's other planes that just have onboard Wi-Fi, and you can connect your phone to it and watch movies on that, which I prefer because if you're getting on the plane at midnight, most people are probably not even using their phones. They're just trying to relax.
Yeah.
So it's a lot darker. There's a lot less brightness.
So it was American that had the TVs.
Right,
And
American
then,
Airlines.
was it Delta on the way back?
Oh man, we've taken a lot of flights this year.
Yeah, I
I'm
can't
trying
keep
to
track.
remember. I think it was Delta.
Yeah, I think Delta didn't have the TVs.
And then we didn't use Alaska Airlines until the New York trip, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was Alaskan Airlines. And then to Las Vegas was Spirit.
Oh, that's right.
Which,
Not as bad as I thought.
Yeah, for a discount airline, it's pretty good. It was only like an hour and a half flight.
Yeah, it was very quick.
And we had this Spirit credit from 2020 when we were going to visit his friend who was living in Vegas in the military. And then his coworker got COVID, and we had to
So we
cancel
canceled
that
the trip, and they gave us credit.
Yeah.
So we had to use the credit at some point before the end of 2021. So in case some of you are curious, they must be blowing all their money on all these trips. We've tried to find the best deals we can, and a lot of the time we're traveling to places we know people at, so we can visit for pretty dang cheap.
We like to travel as cheaply as possible.
No first
And-
class.
Yeah, definitely coach, cheapest flights possible. And it helped that our friends were gracious enough to be our hosts, and we cooked dinner at home most of the time.
Yeah. So we had friends that had recently moved to Puerto Rico, and they were just kind of settling into their new place once we showed up there. So we helped put together furniture. I think I built a bathroom rack and a coffee. We both built a coffee table.
Yeah, we were kind of their like handyman while we were there. Mm-hmm. Like I put up the screen mesh door that like opens.
Right. Keeps the bugs out.
And then you did the bathroom shelf.
Which was, it seemed simple, but after I finished it, the guy, our friend we were staying with, was like, "Oh, we want this to go like behind the toilet, mm-hmm. and you can't put it. It's basically like a metal rack that sits over the, the top part of a toilet, the upper deck. I don't know what it's called.
The poop deck.
The poop deck. But he was like, I want it to be like right against the wall because it's not a huge bathroom, mm-hmm. and of course there's all this plumbing and stuff. Right. So he was like, I think you'll need to take it apart. Oh, so I had to. Geez. I built the whole thing and finished it, and then he was like, "Oh, we need to put it back here." And I was like, "Well, it was simple enough to put together." So I'm not
you
a
built
very.
It twice.
Yeah, well, I didn't have to take the whole thing apart, just the bottom, but mm-hmm. I'm not a very handy person. But I
would
felt
say
proud.
You are.
Really?
Give yourself some credit. I mean,
maybe I'm just lazy.
You did that by yourself, and we did the table together. It was the kind of coffee table where the desk part goes up like a
you could
thing.
Fold it into like a desk.
Yeah, table that folds into a desk. And
if
then,
anyone,
what else did we? Oh, I helped reupholster chairs.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, we did a lot.
Yeah, so we were trying to be helpful if possible, since they were letting us stay with them, which was nice.
And we helped with like gas and food and stuff.
Oh yeah, we pitched in here and there.
Okay, but someone said, Scott said, I need to know how you were able to lose so much weight. I've seen you go from a normal weight to overweight, back to normal weight. Newsflash, she's still overweight.
I'm close to... Am I overweight?
Still, yeah. 189 is the threshold.
Okay. Well, I'm less than 10 pounds away from healthy.
He's getting close.
I'm on the right track. But, yeah, let's dive into this. Because I realize I haven't really talked about this much publicly.
Yeah.
We've talked about it a lot off the air.
For years, we've been saying, like, oh, let's start eating healthy. But
tomorrow.
Yeah, it's always tomorrow. And then I think it was January of this year. I was like, okay, let's actually...
part of our New Year's.
Let's actually, like, cut out, junk food and...
Resolution.
Not altogether, but just eat less of it. Mm-hmm. And I didn't fully start, like, paying attention to what I ate until after we got back from Puerto Rico because I didn't want to be, like, stressed out about... I don't know, overeating. I just wanted to eat whatever I wanted because it's vacation.
That's how we've lived the past few years, really.
Yeah. But during that trip, we were walking a lot and we ate pretty healthy just because, my friend was like a nutritional major. Like she did that kind of like health stuff. So we ate like broccoli and lentils.
Which I had no idea what it was.
It was good though.
No, we ate good. I think we were just more active than usual because it felt like every day we were doing something big.
And just snacking less too because when we're out and about, you can't just like reach for a bag of chips.
Right.
Or whatever.
Yeah. So we were going to beaches and swimming a lot and hiking a lot. We would swim
for like 5 hours.
So there was just a very active.
And this island next to Puerto Rico called Culebra had like the most beautiful beaches.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
I want to go back so bad.
Yeah.
And
we definitely will.
Yeah.
For sure. Especially Culebra.
Yeah.
That was
snorkeling there.
That was awesome. Well, I mean, there's other beaches people told us to hit up that we didn't have time for. Cause, I mean, I don't think we went to the same beach twice, did we?
No. We went to like 5 different beaches.
We went to as many different beaches, and there were still people in the comments saying, like, hey, go here, go here. So, obviously, there's...
Yeah, next trip. We'll go.
There's next trip. But in terms of what happened is didn't we kind of unintentionally notice our weight dropping on that trip?
Yeah, so we weighed ourselves on January 1st just to have like some baseline.
I'm comfortable sharing.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
You don't have to share yours.
I can. I don't mind. Go ahead. You go first.
What was it?
He was 215 exactly.
It was 215 pounds.
Yeah, 215 pounds. What would that be in kilograms? Wait, let me guess.
Okay.
80? 80 kilograms. I don't know.
I don't think that's...
Ask.
What's 215 pounds in kilograms?
97.5
Oh, you were
kilograms.
pretty
I was
close.
17 off.
97 and a half. I thought you were way off. That was actually in the
he was
ballpark.
215. And then I was, this is embarrassing to say, I was 162 0.7. So
It's
both
okay.
of us were technically overweight.
Mm-hmm. I was in the obese sector.
When we first married, he was 240. No,
Yeah.
above 240.
I think I was
like
245. Yeah, I was
So-
closing in on 250, and it shows in the
Yeah, if you
videos.
look
You can
past
tell.
in like 2018.
Yeah.
2019 is probably when you were the biggest.
Yep.
And
Chonk boy.
I mean, I still thought you were handsome, and I was still attracted to you. It's not
Drew
like,
Pro Max.
yeah, I guess. And now you're just the original.
Now I'm
version.
Drew 6. I don't know what to say. The regular Drew 14,
Yeah.
13.
So he was 215, and then
Mm-hmm.
when we got back from Puerto Rico, we each lost like 5 pounds, and I was like, how did that happen?
We were like,
We were there for 2 weeks, and we ate whatever we wanted, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Just walked a lot, swam a lot.
And I liked that feeling.
Yeah.
Because already, I mean, it wasn't a huge amount of weight loss, but I had gone from over 240 down to 215.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, I feel a bit better. I like not looking so bloated and eating so much all the time.
Yeah.
And, but then we got back and we were like, let's keep going. We're on a roll.
Right.
We're quitting the rolls, but
I'm still eating the rolls. Pretty much my motto is I can eat whatever I want, just not how much I want.
so portion
like-
control, I think,
Yeah,
is the main
that
thing.
has always been a big issue for me because I just love food.
Me too.
I love the taste of food, the smell of food,
Yeah.
the anticipation of eating food makes me salivate.
And you can't really quit.
Yeah,
That's
that's
know,
when
it's-
you go too far.
It's not like being like super addicted to eating ice cream or, buying tech
or
products where
drinking alcohol.
you in those things you can like, most people, if they have a serious addiction, have to like slowly wean themselves off, but it's theoretically possible for you to quit entirely.
Yeah, cold turkey.
You can quit cold turkey. With food, you can't. You have to eat something. And it's honestly not healthy if you just try to quit eating.
Yeah. Well, there was this one guy. He was like 400 pounds,
Mm-hmm.
and the scientists monitored him, but he did like a vitamin fast for a whole year. So all he ate was,
I heard about
all
that.
he drank was water and
Yeah.
took vitamins.
Uh-huh.
And he lost like 200 pounds or something, but it's definitely not something a normal person would want to do unless you're...
Because it can be done dangerously.
Yeah,
And it starts
for
to
sure.
harm you. So I would not recommend that myself. But I just will admit I was very surprised how quickly we were able to lose weight just by basically like counting calories. Like kind of
Well,
analyzing.
you don't count calories.
No, I don't. But basically
We just try to like eyeball like, okay, this much is 500 calories, so...
Right.
And just like try to build our day around that.
And what app do you use for this? Not a sponsor.
It's called MyFitnessPal or something like that. Let me see.
Basically, it'll tell
Yeah,
you
MyFitnessPal.
it'll tell you what your like daily calorie burn rate is.
Yeah, so there's different websites you could go to. Basically, you have to figure out what your TDEE is, which is your total daily energy expenditure, and that's how many calories you burn by like existing
Right.
and by moving around and stuff like that.
Not even exercise, just
Yeah, you
just
can have
breathing.
like your sedentary lifestyle, but that's how much you can eat
mm-hmm.
that you won't gain weight, basically.
Right.
So each pound of fat is like 3,500 calories. So by doing a calorie deficit of 500 calories a day,
Mm-hmm.
then you can lose about 1 pound a week.
Which is healthy. I
Yeah,
believe
you
that's
don't want to lose weight too fast. It's weird because like in the beginning, you just lose weight faster just because you're like changing your habits.
and it's
but
a
then-
smaller percentage of
Yeah.
your total weight. Whereas your weight goes down, 1 pound means more and more.
Exactly. So it's harder to lose weight
Mhm.
later down the line.
Mm-hmm.
But now Drew is under 200. So in like 3 months, he
It'll
lost-
still fluctuate depending on
What
if
time
I've
of
had a
day.
big when there's big family gatherings or events and stuff. Typically, you're eating a bit more
Yeah.
than you normally
That's why
do.
you want to weigh yourself the very first thing before you eat anything.
Mm.
That's like
Just
the
to get
most
the
accurate.
lowest figure.
Yeah, well, it's like if you're gonna do a different time every day, it's not consistent.
Uh-huh. I clocked in my new low a couple days ago was 194. And I think today I was like 196 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I've gone up.
But that's
Depending
still
on the
pretty good.
meals.
That's about 20 pounds of weight loss this year.
Yeah,
So
a couple months. Yeah.
applause to you.
Thank you. And I'm glad people have noticed. I'm not intentionally trying to bring attention to it, but people bring it up in the streams and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, thank you.
It must feel good.
It does feel good, and I want to keep going. I want to get to the healthy range.
Yeah, and Drew's mountain biking again, starting. Mm-hmm. So hopefully that can help you.
Yeah, we biked
get a little further.
Over 10 miles on
Thursday.
Was it Wednesday or Thursday?
Oh wait, no. Yesterday was Thursday.
Yeah.
Probably Wednesday.
So that was fun.
So what's your final goal? Like your ultimate goal? Not that it should be reduced down to just, a certain weight, but obviously like how you feel and your body composition and all that. Mm-hmm.
I like the range, according to Google, what's recommended for someone of my height is somewhere between and it also depends on skeletal structure, they say. So it's like not all people of a certain height are supposed to weigh the same.
Yeah.
But the high end
Drew is definitely more of like a burly guy.
Yeah, I've kind of wide.
Swedish. Like Viking
shoulders.
kind of.
Even my hips
vibe.
are wide.
Yeah. Those hips don't lie.
They don't. According to Google, they want you to be somewhere between 155 and 189 for my height. So if I can get into the mid to low 180s, I think that would be optimum. I don't think I'm the type of build that's supposed to be 150.
Yeah.
I think that's a bit
You'd weigh
low.
less than me. I'd feel kind of weird about that, considering you're like 6 inches taller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I need to go that low, but I do just also think it's like a mental exercise of battling with desserts and just food that I've wanted to just snack on throughout the day.
Would you say you were an emotional eater?
Yeah, I mean
or just a bored
it probably
eater?
Wasn't as bad as other people may think of it as like, I'm chronically depressed and I'm using it. It was more of like a boredom thing. It was like just to keep my
your mouth
occupied.
Yeah.
Just like
you're watching TV.
We're watching TV, and it's kind of
popcorn.
nice when you're done with work and you're kind of tired. It's not like depression. You want to relax, and I used the snacking and the food as like a form of relaxation.
Yeah.
And I wasn't thinking of the consequences of it. And the other issue I think I was detecting, this is like therapy, Philosophy Talks therapy, but that's why we have this channel. I love it. Yeah. I think the other issue I was struggling with was I realized how happy food would make me. Yeah. Not that my life was inherently depressing. I was still enjoying life and what we were doing.
But you're getting like a giant dopamine hit.
Yes. I would get a huge dopamine rush whenever we got fast food or Popeyes with the blackened ranch.
Well, that's intentional.
Like,
they fill it with, sugar and salt. And
I would feel so happy afterwards, to the point where I was like, this is probably bad. If I'm like fantasizing throughout the day, I just can't wait to get that fast food again. I can't wait till, we're in a position in life where no matter what happens, we'll have enough money to afford fast food. Right. And, I felt my brain doing that. And I was like, I don't think I want to give food that much power, Like, we need food, but
that's deep.
I don't want it to have that kind of control over my happiness.
Yeah, you knew it was almost like an addiction for you.
Well, it definitely was an addiction. I think, like, I don't have maybe the traditional thought of what people assume addiction is, of like, alcohol or...
you can get addicted to anything,
yeah.
Really. It's just anything you do in, like, excessive amounts.
For me, it's French fries.
Yeah.
I love French fries way too much.
But you can still have French fries and lose weight.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
We have.
Like, there's such a huge myth where it's like, oh, just cut out this and this and this. But honestly, you can lose weight eating pizza and hamburgers.
Yeah.
It's eating less calories than your body... consuming less than your body burns.
Right. Yeah. Pretty much. Because you haven't really cut out desserts.
Like, I still have like a cookie a day. And...
But you've lost weight at the same time.
Yeah. So I started at 162.7 pounds this year, and I weighed myself today. I was 147.
Wow.
So it's like 15 pounds.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, and I definitely don't feel like I'm saying no to myself. Like, I don't want to get into the habit of, like, restricting where I don't know, binge eat, because I binge ate before. like, I just love food so much that
Me
I want,
too.
like, seconds and thirds, and I want dessert after every meal. So it's definitely been, like,
That was an issue for me as well.
changing mindsets.
We used to just get into the habit of dessert after every meal, not just
Yeah.
dinner. It was like, okay, we've had lunch, time for more dessert.
Yeah. I have a
Okay,
really
dinner.
big sweet tooth.
Me too. But I've tried my best this year to kind of step away from it.
Yeah, I'm impressed because, I mean, I shouldn't be doing this, but I offer him dessert a lot.
You're just too nice. You're too friendly.
No, I should not be nice, though, because it's hurting you. I'm, like,
It
enabling
doesn't
you.
hurt. I'd probably be fine if I had one every once in a while.
Yeah, but
I
Drew
just-
says no, like, every single time. I'm like, how do you have the willpower to say no? And then I'll just eat the cookie by
Like
myself.
you held the cookie that you were gonna eat, but you needed to grab something else.
I needed
So
to
you
close
like
the
held
bag.
it out, and you were like, you said like, "Can you hold this?"
Yeah.
And I said, "No, thanks, I'm good," because I was just so programmed to
Yeah.
rejecting the dessert.
Yeah.
So I've had a couple things here and there, but definitely not every day. I've probably gone like a week or so between sweets. And if I do have some, it's very limited. It's like not a huge amount. So
Yeah, and we try to eat fruit instead,
Mm-hmm.
like if we want something sweet.
that's something else I've appreciated about cutting out desserts. And part of the reason, even though I know a little bit probably wouldn't hurt, I still say no, because when you're so used to like fruit being the sweetest thing you taste,
Yeah.
it suddenly tastes so
Even
much better.
sweeter, right?
Whereas if you're used to sweets and desserts and chocolate and then switch to fruit, it's
Switch
like,
to a banana, it's like, oh,
eh,
this is so bland.
it's not that sweet.
Right.
Whereas
so you're
now-
retraining your taste buds.
Right.
Basically.
You kind of set expectations for what sweet is, and it's definitely made like our new go-to midday snack for me has been banana and peanut butter.
Yeah. And then
I
we
used
usually
to
have,
not be a huge fan of either. Now that's like, I look forward to
it's
that.
perfect. It's easy.
I don't hope it doesn't give me too much dopamine or whatever.
It's fine
But-
though, as long as you're like eating healthy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get through some of these comments.
Sorry. We've
Someone
got a lot
asked,
of people.
Scott asked, "What is your Apple Watch calorie goal set to?"
Oh, what's funny is it used, I don't know why, but when I set it up, it just said 500. So that's what it was. And then my niece was playing with my watch at one point, and she changed it to 640
Oh,
and left
okay.
it there. So then I was like,
haven't touched it.
let's just leave it at 640.
Yeah.
So I don't close it every day, unfortunately. I don't keep track on the activity
mine
range.
is
But
excuse me, mine's 500, and I don't close it every day. In fact, I live a very sedentary lifestyle, so that's another amazing thing about just eating less. You can lose weight and be a couch potato. We play tennis like once a month.
yeah, I hope we can
if
play
that.
more.
Yes, we can.
And we went on a walk not too long ago
Where?
around the neighborhood. Remember?
Oh, we walked
It's
1
a few
mile.
days ago.
Basically,
Yeah.
we exercise not very much.
No, we definitely need to improve. I want to improve in that regard. The mountain biking was awesome.
Yeah.
I really missed that. It's just tricky to make sure all the bikes and all the equipment are working and stuff.
Cheyenne, I don't know how you say that. Have you guys tried any type of fasting? Yes, we have. We currently intermittent fast, so we only eat between 12 p.m. and 8 p.m. But we're not super strict. So if someone invites us out to breakfast or something,
Yeah.
we'll have breakfast with them.
It's more of like the daily routine stuff.
Yeah.
If nothing's out of the ordinary, typically we don't eat breakfast.
Right. For me, it's easier to reach my like minimum calorie goal by cutting out a meal, because now my body's not even hungry in the morning, and it saves us money. That's one meal
That's
a day
true.
that we don't have to pay for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
with these
what
inflation
about-
prices, you gotta start cutting meals out.
I thought breakfast was the most important meal of the day.
No.
No.
We
I
did
haven't
get some Lucky
tried-
Charms though.
Oh,
from
that's
Drew's
true.
sister.
I don't know.
Shout
about
out
those.
to Emily.
Thank you, but that's probably going to be sweet, huh?
It's okay.
At least we don't
got
have
sweet things.
normal milk. We have
Oat milk,
oat milk.
which we are out of.
Is that? Oh,
We need to buy some more.
Whoops.
Just
Okay.
drink, just eat it with water.
I see.
The
Ew.
cheapest.
That sounds
cereal.
awful.
People do that.
Really? I've never tried that. When I was a kid, this is terrible. When I was
What?
a kid and we were out of milk, I would use coffee creamer in the cereal.
Oh my gosh.
And it would turn every bite into tasting like marshmallows.
Oh, that's brilliant and so unhealthy
Oh,
for
it was
you.
terrible. I mean, I usually tried to pour less than I normally would, but it was bad. Really bad sweet tooth growing up.
Maybe if you do creamer, is it creamer? So you did creamer and water together, it becomes normal milk.
Yeah, maybe that would balance out a little bit, but
yeah,
not a great idea.
Someone said, you obviously need Fitness Plus to motivate you to close your rings.
Do you know what that is?
Something you have to pay for?
Yeah, correct.
Which I'm not interested.
Okay, strike one. Also, strike two, you need an Apple TV.
Oh.
Which we don't have.
No. We have pretty much everything under the sun that's Apple, other than that.
Just about. I have everything, well, for the most part, I have everything Apple makes I'm interested in. The Roku acting a little bit slow has made me somewhat interested in the Apple TV, but I still don't love it. It's still a big box, and it's still pretty expensive. Like, we have our TV mounted on our wall, and there's not going to be a good place for us to put the TV box.
No.
That's why they need a stick.
Furniture.
They need a little plug-in thing in the back, like the Fire TV and the Rokus have that.
All right, get on it, Apple. There's your next assignment.
Please.
Okay. Someone, Mr. Kind of Important said, how's the fire method coming along?
Ooh, someone remembered that.
Not good. We haven't invested anything since June of last year.
Has it been that long?
June or July.
Oof.
Because basically we decided we wanted to get a Tesla instead.
Yeah.
So that's what we're saving for.
It's refreshing to be public about the plan now.
Yeah.
I'll say.
Because you've been holding it inside for so long.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it a lot. I don't think people realize how many conversations went down over the past 5 years.
Tears were shed.
And believe it or not, it was not usually you that was like pushing things off.
You'd like to think that, but it was me sending vibes.
She was sending,
to you, saying this is not the right idea.
Subconscious things, but yeah, there were several points where we were gonna get it.
Yeah,
and we were even buying accessories like in preparation to get it.
It started in January of 2020.
Yep.
We put the order in for the rear wheel long range Model Y.
And before that, we were going to get a used 3, remember?
I don't remember that.
That was the closest, I think.
Did we put an order in though?
No, we were I think we were still decided that in 2019 we were like, if we make enough, we could hopefully buy a Model 3 before my next birthday. And thankfully, thanks to you guys watching and supporting, we did do really well in 2019. But I got this idea in my head that, we have this debt with the mortgage.
Right.
And my income is so volatile, and I was dealing with the copyright strikes that weren't justified.
Yeah.
And
I had been furloughed from my job because COVID.
Right. So it brought all of this nervousness of like, we don't really know what the future holds, and YouTube seems kind of spotty and unpredictable.
Yeah.
So if we were doing well, but we were like, we should probably put this towards the house, even though the Tesla would probably be way more fun and exciting.
Yeah.
Whereas the house is just like basically a change in status. It's like we've already been living here. We're just going to change it from a mortgage to no mortgage. And then later in the year, we're like, okay, we'll save up for the Model Y, since that's the new car, that's the new fancy thing.
Right.
First of all, they never made that one, so even if we would have kept our order,
that would have been my dream Tesla, if it existed.
It basically ended up costing what the one we're getting costed.
Yeah.
But they didn't make it, so
sad.
We backed out on it before they canceled it anyway, because we realized, again, there's other things we want to focus on, like investments and securing our future.
Yeah. And that was the second time we canceled our plan. Was we decided, it'd be smarter to invest money.
And it was my idea, believe it or not. Do you remember that morning? Well, you're like.
It's your idea, but I was thinking the same thing, and
she was
I just didn't want to disappoint you because I know how much the Tesla.
Well, I appreciated you being willing up until the last minute. You were up for it until I remember that. That was a hard morning for me because I was like, I really want it, but I don't think it's a good idea. So by the following year, I feel like we were like, okay, well, we're going to get one at some point.
Yeah.
Let's just get it over with.
Yeah, we were just so burnt out and like going back and forth.
Yeah. So that's part of the reason we wanted to announce it, is just to have a timeline that we could stick to. And just like...
Yeah. And it still hasn't come. We still have 3 months.
Oh my God, is it only 3 months?
Because it's April.
That's right.
And potentially in July we'll take delivery.
I'm still so excited. While you were at your part-time job, we can talk about in a little bit.
Yeah.
I wasn't feeling well this past Thursday. My throat was super sore.
Yesterday and today.
So, of course, I was not able to really record anything, but I wanted to find some way to work. Mm-hmm. So, I started watching old videos I've done on the Model 3.
Oh.
And capture all of the little glimpses of me saying, I hope to get one day, or maybe in a couple of years.
How many times have you said that?
I only found about 4, but the first one was in 2016.
Wow.
And I was in the attic. And I was like...
Attic. What a throwback.
They were like, guys, they just announced a $35,000 Tesla. That's still way too much for me, and I'll never afford that. and I'm just going to kind of splice that together before we take delivery, just to see like the progress, mostly because...
The emotional journey.
Emotional damage. But I wanted people to see like the people who have been watching after all these years. I want y'all to feel like you're responsible for this, because it's like this would not have happened if it weren't for them.
Team effort.
And there was literally sound bites of me in the 2016 video saying, you know, if you guys keep watching, maybe if the channel blows up and does really well, I can make it happen, but we'll see. So I was like, I want to remember those moments.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I'm probably overhyping it a little too much.
It's like your Rocky journey. I've never seen Rocky, but I know he like climbs up some stairs or something.
Yeah. That's the whole movie.
Goes, da, da, da.
Yeah, he climbs some stairs. That's Rocky. Spoiler alert.
Wait, it is Rocky?
I think so.
Okay, good.
Sounds terrible, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, we should do a Rocky marathon.
There's a lot of them.
There's like 6, right?
Yeah, and there's new ones still with the Creed.
Oh, goodness. Didn't you watch the 5th one in the theater with your dad?
That was Rambo.
Oh, wait, are those 2 different things?
Yeah, well, they're not similar, but
I thought they were the same thing.
They're both Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, they are?
They're both him doing movies for probably longer than he needs to, but
wow.
Yeah.
They typecast him.
Well, he directed several of them, so
nice. I
think he enjoyed it. But they were like Academy Award winning films.
Yeah.
So I've heard they're great. I just haven't had the opportunity to watch them.
Yeah, me neither. Okay, Gretty said, wait, are y'all really going to buy a Tesla, or is this an April Fool's joke? We'll let you decide.
Well, what's funny is how many people didn't know, despite me posting it on the EV channel.
Maybe they don't watch the EV channel.
Yeah, like, I think my dad found out through the podcast.
Yeah.
And I wasn't, like, intentionally trying to keep it a secret from people. I just, we didn't want to necessarily brag in our personal life.
Yeah. The person you see Drew online as is very different than, like, normal Drew. We don't just, like, talk about this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tech channel. It's an EV channel. Right. So they're designated for that stuff. So it's like, if I'm doing something Tesla related, I want to document that for the channel. But outside of that, I'm not running around to people like, hey, guess what I did?
We haven't really shared with anyone other than people who found out, like your dad and your mom. But
they didn't even see the video.
We haven't told any of our friends.
No.
Just because it's not really like an important attribute to us. Like, they're friends with us now with our Hyundai Sonata. So it's not going to be like, oh, wow, they have a Tesla. I don't know.
That's how you know they're real friends.
Yeah.
If they still like you. I
view us as like very normal people.
Yeah.
So.
I do not feel like the type of person that should be buying a Tesla. But.
What is the type of person? Like a.
Probably someone who just makes more, I think. Or like at least more consistent income. Because I'm not trying to say I don't make very much. But I also don't feel like I make a ton. I'm like, if you Google average U.S. income, that's probably where I'm at. I'm somewhere in there.
Yeah.
It's in general, and my income is so volatile, and I don't even really feel like I have a job. I just feel like I talk to people online that are interested in the stuff I'm interested in. So
yeah.
that makes it feel weird, but they know how I feel. How do you feel? Do you feel like you messed up marrying a guy who's so interested in buying expensive products?
No, definitely not. Because again, I see like what Drew does online is a very small aspect to who he is. Like I see who he is outside of YouTube, and I love every part of you.
Aw, thank you. I love you too.
So yeah, I don't regret marrying you at all.
There's not a part of you that's like, I wish Drew was just a little bit more frugal in this way.
No, I think it's a good thing that you and I are different in that sense, because we can kind of bring each other out of our comfort zones.
Yeah.
Like, my comfort zone is like saving as much money as possible, spending as little as possible, and then he's kind of the opposite as me, but he's grown to be more like me over the years.
Not spending as much as possible, but my mindset's more just towards, if I want something, I need to find a way to get that money.
Right.
I need to increase income or,
yeah,
work harder.
And I feel like you didn't think as much about the future.
Yes.
Until you met me. Like, you were kind of living paycheck to paycheck.
It was dangerous. In
2017 and 2018 before we were married.
I don't think people in the audience really understood what I was doing.
He was in a precarious situation.
I did not understand what I was doing, but yeah, I was basically looking at every paycheck as, well, that's this month's budget. And, I could have been much worse. I could have pulled out a bunch of loans and racked up a bunch of credit card debt. I didn't do that, at least. But at the same time, I was not, like, saving anything, which was not a great idea, and I didn't realize it at the time. But you introduced me to so many of those things, and I'm grateful for that, because we can, use the best of both of our minds.
Yeah.
Because you have a lot of great ideas and great saving tendencies that I was like, oh, I didn't even think we could try that. We could do this. And so when we work together, we can do cool things.
Teamwork.
Marriage executed.
Oh, executed. Killed.
It's like business contract.
Acquired.
We figured it out.
Yeah.
Do you want me to handle the chat? Is that why you pressed it back? Or?
We can move on to the next topic if you want.
Drew's entire YouTube career was an April Fool's joke.
Oh.
I feel like that sometimes.
Yeah. 5 years in the making.
No, I want to talk about this because sometimes you guys can ask great questions. Oh, to answer Greta's question that we strayed so far off, we're not investing very much because we're prioritizing the Tesla.
Yes,
but
we're not investing anything actually. Haven't invested since June or July of 2021 because we started saving for the Tesla. What?
That's not entirely true.
What?
Because back when you were at your last job, weren't you technically investing?
Never mind. We were investing, but just December. In my 401k through my work.
So let's talk about that. That's another change since the last time we streamed.
Another major change. I quit my job in January. I was working in customer service, and
we're still keeping the company off.
Yeah, I'm not going to say the company.
All right.
Overall, I'd say I had a good experience with them. I worked for them for 5 years.
Wow.
But I was just kind of burnt out on what I was doing, and I kind of dreaded getting up every day and like knowing I had to go to work.
I dreaded it too.
I mean, the work from home situation was like the best situation possible since I didn't have to drive anywhere, and I'd say making a decent amount. But it was just the work I was doing was very unfulfilling and just draining mentally and emotionally. So, I mean, I brought it up to Drew many times, probably like within the last year. Like, I really want to quit my job. And then he'd be like, oh, you can quit your job? Like, I'll totally support you. But
I was always like, do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
He was always very supportive, but like I had a hard time letting go of the money, I guess, because I am like a very thrifty person. I'm like, that's a lot of money that we'd be losing by me quitting my job. But eventually, it was actually a talk I had with my friend. She was like, your mental health needs to come first.
Absolutely.
Like, put that above everything else, because if you don't have your mental health and your physical health, like, you can't really enjoy life, you know?
Mm-mm.
Life's not worth living. So I was like, that's so true. Like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to put my 2 weeks in, and January 5th, 2022 was my last day. And actually that same night, we flew to Puerto Rico. So
yeah, and I vlogged it. I caught you walking out with your last
Yeah.
paycheck.
I timed it like that.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, okay, we're releasing the old and coming in with the new.
Yeah. Yeah, I was excited for you. I was just as pumped because, for one, when Louise was working, basically I matched my schedule to her schedule best I could.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
and I was working 6 to 2.
Yeah.
6 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Which was kind of early, and she had like scheduled breaks and lunches throughout the day. So sometimes a lot of when I would live stream or when I would film a video was dependent on how much time do I have before the next break or the lunch.
Right.
And all day.
Kind of messed you up.
Yeah,
too.
even if I was tired or something, I was like, I gotta start and I gotta be done by 2 because we want to be free so we can spend time together after work.
Yeah.
So I was looking forward to not having to abide by your schedule, and also just they were calling in a lot of overtime from you. I know.
Yeah, at some points
There were.
I was working like 6 days a week, which I hate not having a full weekend.
Oh, that was
it feels
awful.
like just you don't get free time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Justin says I worked at Best Buy for 5 years. Working with customers really burns you out. Let me say, my mental health is so much better now. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
I agree.
Yeah, it was. I could tell it was really draining for you, and that's part of the reason we didn't keep doing these. I mean, it's not the only reason, but it was difficult to stay on top of the Talks podcast when, we were.
You just don't have energy.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I mean, even though it's only 2 p.m., it's like, oh, I just worked for 8 hours. Like, I want to flop on the couch and relax.
Yeah. So I'm glad we were able to swing that, and you're still doing little bits of work now.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to working, but maybe not that same exact thing. Right now I'm doing childcare once a week just for a couple hours, and it's nice to get out of the house and interact with little kiddos and play with them and push them on the swing.
She's great with kids, by the way. You're just
Thank
a natural
you.
at it. But it might be because you were an older sister. I was always the youngest in the family, so I never really.
It's the opposite personalities again. Yeah. Like, I was kind of the caretaker of my sister. She's 11 years younger than me, so I learned how to change diapers, and I helped potty train her and rocked her to sleep and all that stuff. And you won't get to experience that unless we have a kid someday, which we're not sure yet.
Yeah, it's still up in the air.
Like, I love kids. I love other people's kids. But I don't know. In our lifestyle right now, it just doesn't fit because we want to keep traveling, and
we want to be spontaneous too.
Exactly, and that's another reason why we don't have pets either.
Yes, it would be much more difficult to do, like the train trip, which was the latest series of vlogs on this channel.
Yeah,
that was basically plopped in our lap from her dad at the last minute.
He came and visited me for my birthday. And then, on February 9th, he was like, hey, or not February 9th, February
4th or something.
4th. It was 5 days before the train trip. He was like, would you want to go on this train trip with me? And Drew and I were like, yeah.
Even though we had the tickets to Las Vegas already purchased. So we were like, we got to be gone next week. And he was like, well, we get to New York on this day, and then I got to fly back on this day. So we were like, I think we can swing it, even though it was very last minute, and if we had to track down pet sitters or, if we had kids, that kind of thing couldn't be done.
No.
And it was a lot of fun. I just want to say,
For
spontaneous trips are kind of amazing, because you just, suddenly you wake up and you're in
a different state.
Colorado in the Rockies, and you're like, I didn't think I would be here a week ago.
Right.
I had no idea. And we want to be able to be free and flexible for those opportunities. That's one of the reasons I'm so pumped for the Tesla, is because we have, less gas prices to worry about, and it's going to be I hope, so much easier to road trip in because of
Mm-hmm.
autopilot, and our current car is so old. I'm not super confident when we road trip in it,
Yeah.
but we just want to be able to take off and visit friends and family that are far away, and uh, be able to take the laptop and hopefully the T-Mobile internet thing too, and we can just live
That would be
stream
nice.
wherever and have good internet. And to quote one of my professors, kids are monsters.
Oh. I mean, I've definitely seen some kids with chaotic energy.
Oh yeah.
Like one of the kids that I watch, he's not even 2, but he runs around and just like flips everything over. But
It's
they're
not me.
kids. You have to be patient with them.
Scott Sullivan says, I have the same philosophy as Louise. I work at a school, and I love working with kids, but I don't want kids of my own. Yeah, it's I kind of get why, because I'm sure I've made this reference before, but whether you do or don't have kids, it's a big decision. If you tell someone,
Yeah.
I don't think I want to have kids, they're like, whoa, really?
Or you could just be non-decisive and let fate
Just
do
like,
whatever.
If kids show up,
but
they show
that's
up.
not how I want to do it. Like I want to be
Sure.
very sure of like whatever we decide on.
Yeah.
And like right now, I think we're leaning on maybe having one kid before we're 30.
Both so undecisive about it, though.
Yeah.
What'll happen is if Louise says, because it'll depend on the day.
Yeah.
On one
That's
day,
true.
she'll be like, I think I could have one. Then I go, oh, okay. Well, knowing you want one makes me want one. But if I found out that you didn't really want one, I wouldn't want one as much. So it's like
That's
this.
the same thing with me though.
Uh-huh.
Like when he doesn't want one, I'm like, well then I don't want one either. Like I want him to want it, and then I'll want it.
Yeah. Well, it's
like,
tricky because I'm not completely convinced one way or the other. Like
Yeah.
if anything, I'm leaning towards yes, I do want to have kids, but or a kid.
Yeah.
It would definitely help to start with one and see how I feel afterwards. Like,
Yeah.
how many do you want? Well, let me.
I
try
wish we
one.
could just see our future selves right now and
Yeah.
have them tell us what to do.
What stocks to buy?
Yeah. What kids to have. How many
Where to
kids to
move.
have.
Try having a pet chicken, very much like a
Oh
kid.
goodness. It's kind of crazy. Like I have 3 friends who are pregnant right now and all due
Ooh.
this year.
Wow.
It doesn't make me want to have a kid right now. Like I want to see how they do it first and be like, okay, maybe this is.
It's especially weird
Normal.
when they're younger than you.
Oh yeah.
If someone's younger and
Yeah,
they're
2 of them
you're
are
like,
younger than
whoa.
me, but I'm 25, so that's I guess
Uh-huh.
it's kind of old in
Mhm.
baby age. But we're in no rush, so
Yeah, no rush at this point.
yeah.
Maybe in a few years we'll be like, okay, we got to make a decision, but I don't feel like we're at that point in life.
No.
Yeah, yeah. Like Scott says, one day our kid is gonna watch this live stream.
Oh,
They're debating my existence.
that's so awkward.
Okay, now we can't see. It would
Hi, Timmy.
Timmy
Do your
was an
homework.
average kid.
That no one understands.
No, I'm trying to imagine in their shoes.
They're
if-
tiny little
Their
shoes.
tiny little shoes. If I had parents that had done years and years of live streaming and podcasting and videos, would I go back and watch everyone?
Probably not.
No, you're not.
I mean, like, no offense, but I don't watch your live streams, like your text
No.
streams and stuff. And
None taken. I
I
wouldn't
live with
either.
you.
Yeah.
Like, I
Well,
could
you can
be doing
hear
that.
it.
Yeah, I can hear it. Yeah.
Am I too loud?
Never.
Okay. I'll get louder then.
No.
I'll see.
I mean, don't try to
Um,
be loud.
Sir Jigalot says, until your recent train trip and pre-chat before said trip, I didn't realize Louise was half Australian.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't realize
Fun
that
fact.
either. Just kidding.
Dak asks, have you ever thought about moving out of state?
Yeah, we've certainly thought about it.
Given it a fair share of consideration.
We were considering Florida.
We just had so many good memories in
Yeah.
Florida.
I think we're biased because my dad had this house that was like a block from the beach, and we had 2 vacations there.
If you scroll back far enough, you can watch those
Yeah.
vlogs.
The first vacation there was the first time we were together as boyfriend and girlfriend,
Yep.
and like actually like hugging each other and like
Magical
going on
moment.
dates.
Yeah.
So that was really nice. And then the second time we went, we got engaged.
Mhm.
So like
Both very happy
yeah, each
memories.
time was very memorable.
Mhm.
And so we want to keep doing that, but we probably won't have those, like, insane moments every time we go there.
Right. It would be very different if you got into your daily routine.
Right. If we were just, like, living there, it might not feel as exciting.
But I like, a lot of the Florida situation with no state income tax. Property tax isn't too bad. Mm-hmm. It's one thing that people always emphasize about California is the taxes are bad, but the property tax is actually pretty low.
Yeah.
Relative to other states.
It's Prop 13 limits like how much they can raise it each year.
Because you can't be the property can't be reassessed without
like
a modification that's pretty
major.
Or
if you sell it.
Yeah, or if you sell it. Whereas in other states, a lot of the time, the property is reassessed every year, so the taxes continue to go up.
Yeah.
So yeah, California does have state income tax, but I bet it's gonna be pretty dang close to, like, I know a lot of people are moving from Cali to Texas, but Texas has over twice the property tax rate. The real estate's worth less, so it kind of helps in that regard. But I just mean that the tax avoidance is probably not as big as people think when you just think, oh, there's no state income tax. It's like, well, they get it in other ways.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially if real estate skyrockets up, which it is right now, that's going to cause your property taxes to continue to go up. Whereas I think Florida was like 1%, California is 0.7%.
Something like that.
And Texas is like 1.8, which is pretty huge. It's up there.
Yeah.
So
another state we were considering. I really wanted to move to Hawaii.
Oh yeah.
Because I just always idealized it in my mind, like, oh, island life must be so lush and green, and I can just have pina coladas all day.
Yeah.
But then we looked at the housing market, and it's just totally impossible with our budget.
Yeah.
I think we were lucky to get this house. So with the rising market, I'm like, let's just hold on to this place as long as we can.
And we don't really know that many. I think I have one family member who lives out in Hawaii.
We don't have any support system over there, so it wouldn't really make sense.
Especially if, with the EV channel, I want to cover Tesla stuff.
Yeah.
If I'm on an island, I can't really do that much road tripping. You'd have enough range to cover the whole thing.
Drive for 1 hour and
I did
see
give
the whole island.
Because, I haven't been to Hawaii since I was like 6.
I've never been to Hawaii.
But you wanted to move there. But you haven't been there. We should still go eventually. Yeah. But I did give some serious consideration to Puerto Rico when we were there. Because the real estate is very cheap relative to here. And you're still in the United States.
So they use dollars, and they speak English for the most part.
Most of the island does speak English. And you could use your same currency. Our phones still work. Like Mint Mobile was great there. And the Wi-Fi was pretty decent. There were people with fiber there. So I was like, okay, we got good internet. We got the beach life. We got the tropical climate, which we loved. That was a huge refresher because it was January.
Yeah, so it was cold here in California and then warm over there.
So we went over there and we were like, ooh, this is
I
so
could live
nice.
with it.
It's like,
but
it's
maybe
so
during the summer we would change our mind.
Yeah.
Because it'd be like really hot and humid.
Right. We were told by a lot of the locals that it gets really bad in the summertime.
The locals is in our friends who just moved there 2 months ago.
Well, they remember that guy who took us around the island?
Oh, did he say something?
Yeah, he was the one who told me that in the summertime it's like super humid and hot. Mm-hmm. He said this time of year is great, but later it gets a lot worse.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So ultimately, there's a lot of great places out there. I think, frankly, I could probably get used to anywhere.
Yeah.
But
as long as we have each other.
As long as we have each other, I think the hardest thing to leave, though, would be just the support network we have with friends and family.
Yeah, for sure.
Which are not too far away. There's just so many people we know, and there's so many family members. It's nice to have
that, like, hometown feel.
Yeah.
You know? Where it's like you can run into someone you know and be like, hey, how are you? Or you meet someone new and they know someone that you already know. Right. It's like...
Whereas pretty much anywhere else we'd move right now, we're kind of starting from scratch.
Yeah.
So it's... I think I could get used to, different weather. I could get used to different taxes. And, like, I could probably make some big flow chart that says I'll make more money if I move here. But I just don't know if I'd want to be that far away from family.
It would cost our quality of life, I think.
Yeah.
To be far away from friends and family.
Kind of tricky to find new friends.
Yeah.
And start over.
No,
especially
like
when you're out of town.
The friends I have, it's like, it's hard to maintain friendships as
you
get older.
It's true.
You just have like less time for stuff, and you have to divide your time amongst all your friends, so it's hard to keep strong friendships.
Oh, here's a good question. Sir Jig says, have y'all considered moving to Australia, even just briefly? The Wi-Fi is good here, so Drew wouldn't have an issue streaming.
I've heard otherwise. I've heard that Australia has the worst internet of the world.
I think there's places where it's good, but it's like on average. There's not a ton of people living there.
Yeah.
So they don't have as large a cable system going to the country as, say, Europe or North America.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we have talked about that.
Yeah,
because she has family there.
Yeah, all my dad's side lives there in New South Wales. Is that what it's called?
Probably.
I'm already forgetting.
That sounds right.
In Sydney, around Sydney area. But if we were to move there, we'd live up in the mountains because my dad has a house there. And his Wi-Fi's internet situation is horrible.
Absolute garbage.
He gets like 6 megabytes.
I'm not confident I'd be able to work from there. I do have some... I definitely couldn't live stream with his current internet.
No, we can barely live stream with ours.
We can barely get it working here.
Yeah.
But I might, if I switched all my videos to 1080p, 30 frames a second, I might be able to upload things overnight. It would take a long time, but I might be able to get some content
You could do
up.
1 video a day.
Yeah, I would get like 1 vid a day, which is better than nothing. But that's part of the reason we kind of want to hold on to the Starlink dish.
Yeah.
To see
if it gets better
in the future, if we could bring it to Australia and activate it there, that would be perfect for your dad's place. Yeah. So I'm hoping that's possible. Right now, Starlink is kind of spotty and all over the place. So not going to be testing it anytime soon, but that's like a temporary place we might spend a lot, because it's a long trip.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't want to visit for like a week,
Right.
That kind of journey you would want to explore and take your time.
I'd love to stay there for like 6 months.
Yeah.
But I think for a foreigner, you can only stay there like 3 months or 90 days.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
With the electronic visa.
Maybe I should apply for citizenship.
Oh. So this is why you married me.
Yeah.
Found it. Some dual citizenship.
We do have the dish. A Sydney or the Gold Coast are ideal for your needs. The mountains are just an hour outside Sydney. Yeah, I mean, it's all... Most of that country, everyone's kind of on...
The edges, yeah.
One side. So...
Well, they're on the other side, too.
Yeah, meeting people as an adult with no connections is next to impossible.
Yeah, I feel like the main way that people make friends is school or work. Neither of us go to school, and he works from home.
All my work friends are like thousands of miles away.
Not all of them.
Well,
one is a couple hundred miles away.
Yeah, that's true. There's some closer than others, but it's still a drive. It's still like a trip.
Yeah.
Justin Miller asks, what's the favorite place we've been to?
Ever? Like together or apart?
I assume he means together.
Okay. I'd say the best vacation we've had so far. Oh, this is hard. Probably Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I was going to lean to... I'm torn between Florida and Puerto Rico.
Yeah. But then the train ride, too, was like
such
an amazing experience. And like going to New York City. Okay, I'm going to stick with Puerto Rico.
The only reason I might dock New York City is just because, due to circumstances that weren't really in our control, we went when it was very cold.
Yeah.
It was freezing.
It was like 20
And
degrees
I'm
outside.
sure New York City is way better to visit in the
summertime.
And I would love to see it when it's not freezing.
Yeah.
Because I could probably walk even more, and I bet...
Yeah, we walked like 13 miles in one day.
It was a lot of walking.
That's the most I've ever walked.
It was cool, but we were, kind of freezing our butts off.
Yeah, Drew was wearing 2 pairs of pants, but he did not bring a coat with him because we didn't anticipate it being so cold. So all he had was his Starlink?
SpaceX
hoodie.
Yeah.
And hoodies aren't very warm or good against the wind.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to get you
No,
an
I was
actual
not well
jacket.
prepared at all. That was a mistake. But I just love swimming at beaches.
Yeah.
And I think both Puerto Rico and Florida had like amazing beaches to choose from. And there was I also think a lot of things I learned.
Excuse me, I just burped.
That's okay. I think you were under the radar. I don't think they heard.
Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah. But there were so much things I learned because like I didn't even know where Puerto Rico was a month before we went.
Right.
And I learned about the culture and how many people live there. It's not a small...
3 million people.
There's a lot of people live there.
Is that like the same as Rhode Island or something?
I think it's the same as like Utah.
Oh,
It's
Utah.
like, at first I thought, oh, they're probably not a state because so few people live there. And then I found out, no, there's more people there than a lot of states. So why aren't they a state? And, it's a long answer. But still, I was like, this is just kind of interesting that the island exists and, finding out about its history and driving to every corner of it, basically, and seeing all the old San Juan was fascinating.
Yeah.
And scuba diving with the... snorkeling, sorry, not scuba. Snorkeling with the fish.
You saw a stingray.
Oh, yeah, the stingray.
I didn't see it, but I got freaked out. I swam away.
You heard about the stingray.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going back. That's enough. If you work with a coworker for one day, next thing you'll know, you'll start saying hi to each other every day. That's probably true.
That's sometimes true, but when you work from home, saying hi is not really the same as, like, seeing them in person.
True.
Like, you Slack them, hi.
Yeah.
Oh, this person just texted me. Who are you?
That's just you, like, checking in. Mm-hmm. No, we haven't seen the West Side Story. I heard good things, though. That was it's a remake, but it's a Spielberg film about, man, I should know. It's related to Puerto Rico in some way.
Oh, it's a musical, right?
Yeah. But people are saying don't go to New York in the summer because the humidity is apparently really bad.
What?
I
Clearly
think
you haven't been to where we are.
I think, personally, people exaggerate humidity a little bit. Maybe it's because
I felt Florida humidity. That's pretty bad.
I felt it, but it didn't, like, bug me as people say, like, oh, it's terrible, it's brutal.
Which one, Florida?
Yeah, like,
well,
I
was
noticed
winter.
it.
Oh, wait, no, we went there during
Yeah, we
summer.
went there in July.
Okay, never
last. And I noticed it as soon as I stepped off the plane. I was like, oh, yeah, this is humid. But it wasn't, like, I got used to it in a day.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm sure autumn or spring is better for New York. It's like you get that little middle ground, and Central Park is probably really colorful.
Yeah. Oh, when we went there, it was just like icy,
middle of winter,
frozen lake.
Yep. Yeah.
And they had these red ladders all around Central Park. In case someone fell in the ice.
Yep.
You can fetch
You
them.
can help them out.
Yeah.
Do you want to go more off this list, or should I keep addressing the chat? They're
Let's
asking.
be spontaneous.
Okay, we'll be spontaneous. Kaz says, "Are y'all typically night owls like today's stream, or is this a one-off?"
I don't consider myself a night owl, but I guess since I've quit my job, we're not on a schedule anymore. So
not a very structured one.
Yeah,
but yeah,
we've stayed up really late, like the past couple months. But if it were up to me, I'd be in bed by 10 p.m. and then wake up at like 6 or 7. But that has not been the case lately. We've been going to bed at like 12
Who's
or 1.
Who's it up to?
The wind. It's up to fate.
Yeah, it's actually quite astounding how little motivation you'll have if there's not like direct penalties for not waking up. Because like we'll set our alarm. I think we did it this morning, right?
We did wake up at 7 though.
We woke up at 7 and we were like, okay, let's get up.
I didn't go back to sleep.
No, you didn't?
No.
Oh, okay.
Did you?
Well, we definitely laid there for a while.
Yeah.
We didn't get up. We were awake.
I'm just trying to train myself to wake up early, and then hopefully that'll make me more productive.
Well, I'm glad you quit your job, and I'm glad you're willing to work if need be. But obviously, the whole reason I was so like for it and why I wanted to encourage you, even though yes, it brought home some money, I was still like, my whole career has been just pursuing what you want to do, and sometimes, yeah, there are jobs that you got to work that aren't necessarily fun, but they pay the bills. Just do that when you need to.
Right.
And that's, my whole career shifted in 2017 from going, okay, I don't need to work at the Mandarin Ranch job anymore. I think I can do YouTube full time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was passionate about YouTube. And I could tell you weren't passionate about customer service or furthering your career at this company. So I was like, well, if you're not enjoying it, are we going to be financially in trouble? Or, are we going to go hungry if you quit this job? No, we'll be fine. So I'm like, if you're not enjoying it and it's stressing you out and it's kind of taking away the time we want to spend together, then I'm all for it. So that's where my background came from.
Yeah.
Of just like, yeah, if you don't need to do something and you're not enjoying it, life's short. These are your youth years. You don't want to waste them making someone else rich.
Yeah.
So
such true words. And Drew, you're very inspiring. Like, I wish I knew what I wanted, That's the hard part, is like, sometimes I feel like I'm floundering, Like, I need some direction.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, I'm just taking it one day at a time, and I am happy,
Good.
I enjoy my life, and the little work that I do helps pay for food.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we've done other things to offset costs, because probably the biggest consequence of you quitting was the health coverage stuff.
Yeah. So when I was working, I had health insurance provided through my work, and I think it was around $50 a month.
And that's how I got mine.
Oh, wait, no, it wasn't 50. It was like...
Yours was like 10.
Yeah, it was 10 just by myself, but when I added Drew, it bumped up to like 180.
Oop.
But that's still considered cheap for California.
Mm-hmm.
And so...
It's just because I'm not an employee.
Right. He was just like a...
I was just married to an employee. So it costs a lot more to add someone.
Yeah.
But
since I quit my job, our insurance is now over $300.
Yep.
And...
This is America.
Like, if it were up to me, I would just live without insurance. But we would get fined more than the insurance is worth.
The laws
or something close to it.
Yeah, the laws have gone back and forth on that over the past few years. But as of right now, if you don't have health insurance, they tax you a pretty decent amount.
Yeah, it's something like $1,300
per person, I think.
Yeah, $1,300 per person. Don't quote me on that. Yeah, a year.
So it was like.
So I was like $2,600. That's a lot of insurance that we could.
We could pay the penalty, or we could just pay to have health insurance.
Yeah.
So.
The penalty was still cheaper.
Yeah.
Technically.
I think we would have saved a little bit of money, but we'd also have no health insurance. So
yeah, and if
that would cause problems.
Went
potentially.
Wrong, it's better to be safe.
Also, I need insurance for my medication for my psoriasis.
Yeah.
So
and that's very important that he stays on top of that, because if he stops using, can I say the brand?
Yeah. No, I've done vlogs on it on this.
If he stops using Cosentix, which is this like injection he has to do once a month, his psoriasis can come back, and if he tries to get on the medication again, it could potentially not be as potent as before and not work.
If I quit Cosentix now, I may have psoriasis
for the rest of his life.
Well, I always have it, but I may have the side effects for life.
Right. And if you look back at his old videos, you'll see how intense it was.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
All over his forehead and his eyebrows.
It was
and his
really
eyelid
annoying.
was like bleeding.
Yeah, I was
hands.
cracking. My eyelids were cracking open, and Touch ID didn't work.
Yeah.
So
very painful.
I'm amazed by how quickly it worked, and I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah.
The only downside is you got to have health insurance of some kind.
Okay, out of pocket, it's something like $5,000 a month for this.
We're not paying that, for the record. But I don't understand who would be paying for that.
It's just
they claim that's what it costs.
They force you to have health insurance.
But yeah, it's like, who in the right mind would pay? Who wouldn't just?
Maybe it's something like insulin,
insurance?
where like
I guess
out of pocket it's like $300 a vial, but if you have insurance, maybe it's offset to like $50 or something.
So that was probably the biggest transition. But we were actively looking for ways, of course, to lower bills.
Yeah.
Including, first to Starlink, now to T-Mobile.
Yeah.
Cutting
so
that
we went
in half.
from $100.
It was $150 with Comcast.
Oh,
originally.
yeah. So Comcast was $150.
Uh-huh.
Then we got Starlink. That was $99 a month.
Now it's more, but we got out.
Now we're on T-Mobile for the last month, and that's $50 a month. So we're just continuously trying to find ways to save money. Mm-hmm. And I follow a lot of subreddits about saving money and being frugal.
I don't want to brag or anything, but Louise is like a master Redditor. She is like...
I'm really not. Don't say that. 'Cause people might actually be master Redditors.
I just think you're like in so many communities. You like tell me about all these things you find.
I like learning new things. Like, even though we're not in school, doesn't mean we can't learn like how to be better people and how to be mindful of the environment. And like, that's just very on brand for me. Like, I hate waste. I hate spending more than I need to on something. You
like recycling and reusing whatever possible. Yeah. Like just fast food cups, like today.
It's kind of embarrassing.
I don't think it's embarrassing. I think it's resourceful. It honestly gave it a little bit of validity to me. Like, so Louise makes these awesome smoothies. And we were driving to the airport today, and she put the smoothie in this recycled...
Taco Bell.
It's a Taco Bell cup. We haven't been to Taco Bell for...
Probably over 2 years.
Like 2 years. But you still have that cup, and you have a straw that you clean and reuse, and you just like, here's your drink. And you could not tell that wasn't from a Taco Bell. It looks like one of those...
they sold smoothies.
Baja Blast looking things.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a dark purple, but it feels really official. Yeah. Like, we're driving and I got my drink.
Did it make it more satisfying?
A little bit. I know it probably shouldn't. I don't know why I put faith and confidence in a branded plastic cup, but it's just a little bit different than using like your standard run-of-the-mill like kitchen cup.
Maybe it's like how the Report of the Week always drinks Starbucks water.
Yeah, I haven't checked up on him in a while. Is he still doing stuff?
I haven't checked either.
I'm sorry, everybody. I gotta check.
Okay.
He's been... Yep, he's still doing the same old.
Szechuan.
He's got that suit. He's got the haircut.
Man, he's got a dream job right there. Just
he
eat
does.
Food, review food.
Stays thin, though. That's the impressive part, right?
I don't know how people do it. He must not eat that much.
I guess not. Scott says, I feel you on that. Louise, I wish I knew what I wanted to do with my life.
Yes, we're all in this same boat that is sinking.
We're all in the sinking boat.
Same sinking boat.
We didn't discuss this before. How long do you want to go? Do you need to wrap up by a certain time? All right. We can keep going
until I fall asleep on the stream.
Okay, if Louise falls asleep, that's it.
Yes. For reference, it is 10:42 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
We've been staying up kind of late anyway, so
yeah,
this is just a more productive way.
Till midnight last night, and then we woke up at 7.
Yeah.
So I'm a little tired.
Yeah. Kyle Cross asks, I can't remember the story of how you guys met. We've probably told it before.
I can't remember either.
Do you want to tell it, or should I?
I'll let you tell it.
Okay.
You're more of...
Basically, both of us were in this program called College Connections, where you end your last year of high school at a community college, kind of wrapping up your high school units and starting your college credits.
Yeah. So it's simultaneously. You're taking... Well, basically, you're not
graduated from high school yet.
Yeah, you're a senior in high school. You're taking college classes, but then you also do, like, packets, like independent study almost for high school.
So we were both in that. She was in a different class from a different town, but we both went to the same community college. And that group of the College Connection kids were required, essentially. I don't even think you had class this day. They just made you show up because...
Yeah, it was a meet and greet.
They wanted us to have a meet and greet with all the other College Connection kids. Oop!
Oh.
Here comes the sneeze.
Sorry, my allergies have been horrible lately.
I hate it when you don't
Continue.
Get it. But essentially, we bumped into each other at the meet and greet. She told me I looked like Ron Weasley. And I don't know how I reacted.
The rest is history. I think you probably laughed. You're like, haha, I get that a lot.
Yeah, lots of people have told me that. You weren't the first, but we talked for a while. I remember because everyone was leaving. It was near the end. We were walking out.
You, like, after the event was pretty much over. It was you and your friend Ross were the only ones left. And I was like, I know Ross because I met him like a few minutes earlier.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll
They
say hi to this
required
guy.
they weren't like you just have to sit here. It was
Yeah,
like
you
no,
have a
you
sheet.
have to go
You have to
around
ask what their name is,
people,
what their major is.
get their number.
Not like no.
But that's what it felt like. I mean, essentially, it was like everybody talk to each other, get to know each other.
Yeah.
And I didn't bump into you until I was like on my way out, and then you were like, "Hey, you look like Ron Weasley," and I thought you were cute right off the bat, and I was like, And
Aw, shucks.
we started chatting, and we took a picture of that day, and
yeah, you can find it on
I vlogged that day.
my Instagram, your Instagram.
Probably one of them, but if you scroll back far enough in the vlogs to around September of 2015, I did vlog the very day I met you, before and after, and it's very quick. It's just like, hey, I
met this person
meeting
today.
These new people. This is Louise, and she goes, hi, and I go, yay. The face you make when you meet your future wife.
Oh gosh.
Yay. But
Yay.
yeah, we were kind of just like friends for a while, and then made it more official when we got out of high school.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty much it.
That's some.
And
that's
we're happily married.
Yeah.
At least on my side.
I'm happily married. I still feel like I'm getting like spoiled or treated extra well, and I don't do enough in return.
That's not true. You do a lot for me.
Well, thank you.
You refill my water. You get the toothbrush ready.
Halami says, so it was basically an arranged marriage.
Yeah, it was arranged by the community college.
Essentially, yeah. Let's see. What else we've done to offset costs, I guess.
I've
We've
been selling
things.
stuff
That's right.
on Facebook Marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, it is such a pain to coordinate with people.
You are amazing that you're willing to keep trying with them.
It's barely anything. Like, I put 15 to 20 different things, ranging from furniture to home decor to, like, phone cases. And I've sold, like, 3 things. And it's been impossible to, like... I don't know, people will just reach out to you and say, hey, is this available? Mm-hmm. We'll make plans, and then they just never get back to you. I'm like, okay, why did you waste my time?
They just ghost you like crazy.
But we did sell our old couch, so I was very thankful for that.
I realize we haven't vlogged or shown this, but this is a different couch than we used to have. This is our new couch. I can't really zoom out very much, but it's...
Can I, like, pan down, or is it too much?
You could, but you're going to show off my legs.
Your pasty legs.
You want me to do it?
No, you can do it. I mean, you can sit and I'll...
Oh, okay. My legs.
It's okay.
Whatever. Okay. Sorry, audio listeners, you're not getting much out of this, but it's more of like a L design, so it goes outward, so I can put my legs out, which the old couch did.
What is that called? Sectional?
Sectional, I think, but it opens up.
We got
so there's more storage
in there.
Underneath it. Couch review. Mm-hmm. And we actually got this couch for $0 because some of our friends were needing to get rid of it, and they were like, hey, can you take it off our hands?
We have really good friends. See, again, another reason why we don't want to leave this area.
The free couches.
Not just that, but just
sweet.
like having someone to... people to support you.
Yeah. So, we asked them what they wanted for it. They were like, nah, don't worry about it. So it's much better than our old one. It's bigger. It's more comfortable. And I think it looks better as well, which is pretty nice. Yeah, it looks like an iPhone 10 battery.
What?
The iPhone 10 battery is like an L shape like this.
It is?
Yeah. Huh. Are you trying to remember what an iPhone 10 battery looks like?
No, I don't think I've ever seen the battery. How do you see the battery?
You rip it apart?
Oh, I've never ripped one apart.
No, I haven't either. We don't have an iPhone 10 anymore, huh?
Nope.
There's none here. I mean, some people are asking fairly techie questions, like, do I think the EV channel will grow larger than the tech channel? Or do I see myself leaving the tech community?
Oh.
When there's tech-related questions on talks, I want to default to having you answer it.
Oh, no.
To prevent it from becoming just a tech stream or an EV stream.
Okay, what was the first question?
Do you think the EV channel will grow larger than the tech channel?
I think there's a chance since the EV sector has more potential for growth. It feels like the tech channel is already pretty well done.
I agree.
Talked about, and it's kind of stagnant, in my opinion. Andrew's opinion, too. I mean, he said this before.
Yeah.
Like, news is dry a lot of the times, but EV still has a lot of new cars coming out. The Cybertruck obviously draws a lot of attention.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it's certainly possible. They're not very close to each other right now. Like, the EV channel only has 40,000? 42,000 subs, and then tech is like over 200. So, I don't know how quickly it would catch up, but there's definitely a chance.
Sure. And it's kind of a pointless metric because it doesn't correlate to the number of views they get. If you just look at views and watch time, they're much closer, despite the subscriber count being all over the place.
Right.
Cause asks, are you guys open to college later down the line?
Oh, what was the second part of that question?
Oh, sorry. He says, do you see yourself leaving the tech community?
Hopefully not. I mean, you always want to leave the door open in case something interesting happens. So
right.
I don't see Drew being like, having that emotional black and white video, I'm done
with tech.
Ending the tech channel.
I don't think it'll ever get that bad, where the news is so incredibly dry that I can't do anything anymore. I could potentially see maybe not posting as often in the future. I actually think in the future, if I want to spend less time working or retire, essentially, because we have kids or something, I could kind of see myself just doing the podcast.
Yeah.
Like just the tech podcast once a week, and within that week we cover all the news, as small as it may be, and we just talk about our thoughts and opinions on current state of tech. And there's just a general downward trend I'm seeing most tech channels already see. It's not just me, for the record, it's everybody. Yeah. So that's why we're literally investing time and money into EV, because we see
that growing more.
Yeah, there's a lot that's yet to happen with EV.
And it's also more exciting, I think. Like, I don't know, when you buy a new phone, it's like, okay, I've had this, a million different ways.
It's kind of an annoying process for most people, right?
Yeah, like, I mean, most people probably don't upgrade as often as you do.
Yeah, that's
true.
But
like with a Tesla, this is like probably once a decade or once every couple decades.
It's a much bigger purchase.
Yeah.
Which makes it a much bigger deal because you're probably going to hold on to it for a lot longer.
Right.
So,
and you get a lot of like over-the-air
that's true.
And
charger networks can expand.
Yeah. And this, like, we can drive this places.
Right.
A phone can't do that.
You can't crawl inside an Apple product. You can crawl inside a Tesla.
What about the original Apple computer? Wasn't that like the size of a room?
No, it was like a little wooden.
What was the big
board.
Computer?
That was like all computers in the day, but yeah, I think the consumer tech stuff is probably a bit more relatable because everybody's kind of buying it.
Yeah.
Whereas not everybody's buying EVs, and especially you're not going to buy an EV as often as you buy a phone or a laptop or something. But in terms of the business we're in, we're not as a YouTube network, we're not in the business of unboxings or reviews or delivery day videos. We're in the business of hype, anticipation, talk about what we're excited for, what we might see, what to expect. And that's where I see a lot of change and a lot of growth, is like when to expect the Cybertruck, here's what we know about that, or here's new Rivian or Aptera. I have a lot of hope for.
Yeah.
So
there's like a lot more new models that are coming out that haven't come out yet.
Been following since your home movie days, and it's so nice to see you happily married to a wonderful woman. Gives me hope.
There's always hope.
There's always hope, Kyle. Let's see. What did maybe I should go back. We have like things we want to talk about, and I'm sorry. Do you want to wrap up?
No. Let's keep going.
Okay. She wants to keep going.
Until I pass out.
Okay. Oh yeah, the Hummer EV, of course.
Oh yeah, we watched a video on like a drag race.
Oh yeah,
between the Hummer EV and the Rivian.
Throttle House, I think.
Oh, wait, was it the Lightning or the Hummer?
Oh, it's the Hummer. The Lightning's not out.
Oh, yeah, the Hummer and the Rivian, and the Rivian won every single time. I love the Rivian.
Yeah?
Yeah, I thought
Tell
it was
me
so
more.
cool. Well, I love all the just like random features it has. Like,
Oh, yeah. It's stuffed
yeah.
with
Like
the gear
stuffed with
tunnel,
goodies.
with the kitchen set.
Yeah, well, not that we could ever afford one.
Probably not.
Especially since they raised the prices and then
Oh, yeah,
that
it's
whole
bad.
situation.
If you were, let's say in an alternate universe, we went to the Rivian First Mile event. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
We had a blast. We loved it. So much, in fact, that we were like, wow, this is great. Let's actually go with the Rivian instead of the Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
And we put our reservation in.
Yeah.
And then they rose the prices, and that whole drama thing unfolded, and then decided, okay, if you had a reservation, we will honor that original price.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have gone through with the purchase?
Well, yeah.
Yeah?
Because then you already have a car that's like worth more.
True.
I mean, it's cheaper and you could probably sell it for a profit, basically, which
Yeah.
a lot of people are doing with Teslas just because the wait time is so long.
True.
So,
However, we're already in that position with the Model 3 now because it's gone up in price.
yeah. I
since
wouldn't
we
pay
were-
more, though,
No.
for one that we could get right now.
Yeah.
Because I've always been like, I can wait as long as possible.
Sure.
Like,
We established pretty early that we can wait forever because there's always something.
yeah.
Like we were talking in 2019, like, hey, let's, early next year, let's get the Model 3. And then it was like, oh, wait, we can do the Model Y. Let's do that. Then we waited. And then it's like, oh, wait, these new batteries are coming out, the 4680 cells. So we're like, there's always going to be something around the corner. You could wait forever. I do love the Rivian. I've watched so many videos on it. But what I've found myself realizing is that our lifestyle just does not warrant a pickup truck at all.
Yeah.
It really
Probably not.
doesn't. As
I mean,
much
you
as
could
I
just
love
use it
trucks,
like a sedan,
you
but
could.
it's not as energy efficient.
No, it would cost way more to run, and it's less aerodynamic, and it's definitely like basically twice the price of the Model 3 we're getting.
Oh my gosh.
And
I already feel like that's a lot.
yeah, it's not a cheap car by any means, especially once you factor in sales tax and stuff.
Yeah.
And the registration and Rivian's a new company as well, so it's like
There's still going to be kinks that need
yeah,
to be ironed out.
how's service, how's insurance,
Oh,
how's
yeah.
all those, and they haven't built a single Rivian fast charger yet.
Wow.
So it's all relying on Electrify America, which is good, but definitely more expensive than superchargers. So it's one of those things that I kind of wish my lifestyle could justify because I'm a big fan of all these electric trucks coming out, and I like seeing what they're capable of, and
Yeah.
always been a huge fan of the Cybertruck. And for many years, I said that was like my dream vehicle. But the more I thought about it, I was like, what am I gonna do with it?
Yeah. You mostly need a truck if you're moving stuff, and we don't plan on moving for a long time because we can't afford anything else.
And like, even if we were, I don't think I would want to be the guy with
The truck.
the truck.
Because then everyone would be like, oh,
Can
we
you
borrow
help me
your
move
truck?
this?
Yeah.
Can you help me move this? And I'm like, I think they look cool, and I love the utility and practicality. But then I'm like, at the end of the day, we are. This is what we do. We basically have an internet connection, and we do live streams and post videos. We don't like haul stuff around. We don't like, cut down trees or something and fill up
Yeah.
our car with wood or anything. We don't have.
It could help with like gear if we went camping or something. But
True.
we could even do that in our current sedan.
Yeah,
right
you
now.
probably could.
All
And
we need is a tent and some sleeping bags.
we would have to camp a lot to justify the extra
Oh,
cost.
yeah. For sure.
I do
But-
think the Rivian would be like the best camping vehicle
Yeah.
ever.
If money was no object,
Uh-huh.
then yeah, the Rivian would be like the perfect camping truck.
Yeah.
Because they had that tent system
Oh, that was so easy to set
Yeah.
up. It was awesome.
it just like folded, right? Like an accordion
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, you just unhooked a few latches
Yeah.
and
Originally it
folded
was like
open.
$700, but I think they raised the prices.
Now
on
it's like
that.
2,000 or
Oh.
something.
And then the
Yeah.
camping kitchen was like the coolest thing.
Uh-huh.
Like they made popcorn for us at the event.
Yeah.
I was like, wow,
That was really cool.
This is so nice and fancy, and this
Uh-huh.
is better than my kitchen at home. Drew's like, we got kitchen at home.
We have kitchen at home. No, I wanted the kitchen done. It's all really cool. I just look at what we do, and I'm like, yep, we would blow a bunch of money on that, and then it would sit in the carport.
Yeah, for 90% of the time.
90% of the time, and we would have to actively go out of our way to camp more often. Right now, we camp like maybe once a year.
Yeah, I can't even remember the last time we went camping.
Remember before my parents moved?
So
we all went.
Almost a year ago.
Yeah. So it's like,
and
I love camping.
I'm not sure if we're going to go this year. We don't have tents. We don't have sleeping bags. We literally just borrow other people's stuff.
I think it'd be cheaper to like rent a Rivian on Turo once a year and just take it camping.
Yeah.
Make a video out of it. Probably help pay for itself. I mean...
How much is it, though? It's probably going to be like $400
a
day.
Yeah, right now, it's more. I think right now, just because they're so high in demand, it's like over $1,000 a day.
Oh my gosh.
But in the future, it's like, I don't camp enough to warrant that whole price. So if it was like, okay, if you want to have a fun EV camping adventure, pay $3,000 to rent a truck for a few days and make a video out of it, I guess. But
yeah.
Even that's kind of hard to justify. I'm cringing at the thought of blowing $3,000 on a camping trip, and then you don't have
$3,000. That costs more than our Puerto Rico vacation.
Yeah, it's true.
That whole vacation was under $1,000.
Yeah.
And that included like flights and
your final paycheck more than covered all that.
Yep.
So it was. Yeah, I don't think we could do it. It's simple. Sell the house, live in the Rivian. Exactly.
We'd never be able to buy a house again.
No, probably not. Let's see. Oh, we'll go back to this one now.
Okay.
What future trips are you most looking forward to? Where do you want to go back to, maybe? Is a better way of phrasing.
So, I'll go back to, not new trips?
Or new, but it's just what are you looking forward to, travel-wise?
Well, I really wanted to do Europe.
Oh, yeah, of course.
My best friend lives in Germany. And I haven't seen her since our wedding, and that was almost 3.5 years ago.
Oh my God, it's been so long.
Yeah. But just the situation in Europe, it's like still pretty hard to travel with all the restrictions, and you have to get tested between countries. And basically, if I'm going on vacation, like I don't want to have to deal with the hassle of like...
It was already kind of a hassle to get... Once
Puerto
we were
Rico.
in Puerto Rico, it was great, but we had to get...
Tested,
and the results had to be very last minute.
Yeah.
It was kind of a stressful countdown to the final flight. So...
Definitely.
I get why we're not doing it this year, but it's been on our list for a while because I've never been there.
Yeah. If I was just like rattling off places, I'd say Germany, where my friend lives. Mm-hmm. Italy, because I love the food. My dad had a friend who lived there, but she sadly passed away from old age. She was like in her 90s. And then Ireland, also have like a distant relative there. I've been there twice, and it's a beautiful country. And I would just like to see it also.
Yeah. No, I want to experience it.
Australia, to visit family.
That's been delayed.
Meet family.
Several
You've never
years.
Met that side of my family.
I legit remember we weren't even in this house. We were in our old house. In 2019, we were talking about let's go to Australia for Christmas of 2020.
Yeah.
That was the plan originally. And then COVID canceled all that, and they've been in lockdown up until, like, I think a month or two ago.
Yeah.
They just started opening up.
So my dad's actually going back to Australia, and he said that we could come visit him, but now we have, like, too many obligations that
We've agreed
it's hard to leave.
Stuff.
So, catch-22. It's like I quit my job so I could travel more, and then I have all these other things happening.
Like, yep, we shouldn't have agreed.
Right.
We got to be flexible.
Yeah.
But
one of the things that we're doing right now is my friend is a ballerina, and there's a local production of Dracula, and she was like, we need village people, like, would you want to do that? And I was like, yeah, that sounds fun. And now we're realizing, like, it's taking up a lot more of our time than we originally thought.
Kind of a big commitment, but I will say I'm kind of enjoying it. I mean, some parts of it are a little bit stressful, but for the most part, it's very different from anything else I've ever done. And
well, you've been in like production or like small things. You were like a camel or something.
when I was like a kid.
Okay.
I haven't been in like
count?
a stage production since probably 10 or 12 years ago.
What was the stage production?
Like, do you count a concert band?
Oh, that kind of counts. I mean, you're up
It's
on
a little
stage.
different. You're not like moving around. I was just sitting in a chair playing a trombone.
Yeah.
But this
That's
is
still a
like
performance.
last time I like acted in something was probably 10 or 12 years ago.
Well, you've done your skits, so you have acting experience.
I have acted in the YouTube skits, that's true. But this is very different type, I'd say. It's like there's no talking, and it's all just kind of body language. And
so it's a ballet, to
yeah.
clarify. We're not really dancing in it. We have a few roles, like Drew's a gypsy.
Mm-hmm.
So it basically means he's like helping lift Dracula's coffin,
Mm-hmm.
and he harasses people that are walking by. And then we're also ghouls.
Like chase people. Yeah.
I'm not really sure what the ghouls thing is about, though. We just like wear black cloaks and like wave our arms like this.
Yeah.
Like that one episode of SpongeBob.
Yes, Squidward.
The jellyfish.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it feels pretty silly a lot of the time, but I'm definitely outside of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Which kind of goes with our theme of saying yes to more things.
Yeah.
We were kind of on the fence because we were like, we've never done this before, but, we were like, well, let's do it together. And if we don't like it, we don't like it, and if we do, then great. So it's definitely been a bit more of a time commitment than I was expecting.
Yeah, it's every weekend.
It's kind of taken up all our days off, but at the same time, I feel like normally we don't do that much on the weekends anyway, so it's like, man,
we could do this, or we could watch TV.
Yeah, we could be at home watching TV right now. Instead, we're, helping someone achieve their vision, I guess. So, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, we're just trying to enjoy the process.
Yeah, just trying to...
And it is fun in some parts.
Yeah, I've had fun at several points. Especially when me and the other gypsies have to, like,
mess around.
Mess with people and laugh at each other and, like, egg each other on and that kind of stuff. It's kind of fun working with the other guys, which are in far better shape than I am, I'll say. And they're all still doing it with me. So it doesn't feel like, you're surrounded by ballet dancers. There's actually more like extras that aren't dancers than there are real dancers.
That's true.
Dak says to record the play so they want to see me as a village person.
Well, we can't record it because we're going to be in it.
Right.
Also, there's no recording. Like, the audience can't record.
Aren't they going to record it themselves?
Yeah, but then, I don't
know. Yeah,
we'd have to pay for that.
Yeah, they probably won't post it.
Maybe super chat like $20 and we'll send you a copy. Just kidding.
Yeah, that was a good price. You had that ready to go.
Well, I think it's like $20 to buy a copy.
Oh, we have to pay for.
Yeah,
we don't get one even if we're in it.
I don't think so. Oh. How are they going to make money?
They need
free labor and they need to.
Sorry.
What?
What do they need money for? I'm doing this for free.
Well, they need to pay for like all the costumes and like renting the theater out.
I know. I'm kidding, but
a big deal.
Yeah, it is. I don't know if we'll do it again, but
yeah, the ballet director is trying to loop us into the Nutcracker production, and I'm just like, this is already so much. Like, can we finish this first, and then we'll think about it?
We'll see how we feel.
Yeah,
'cause it could get very stressful in the last couple days.
I do love the Nutcracker though. Like the music is really fun.
Yeah, it's iconic.
Yeah.
Yi Hirasawa said pickup trucks are the opposite of minimalism, which I think I agree with.
Not necessarily. And minimalism can be different to different people. And what you need will be different from what someone else needs.
That's true.
So if someone is like working in construction, then that might be minimal for them to have a good utility truck that they can put all their work stuff. Mm-hmm. And yeah.
I think that Cybertruck interior is like a minimalist pickup. It's just like barely any dials or knobs. It's just like one screen. But something like the Rivian, it's cool and I like it. I don't know if I would describe it as minimal. It has a lot of features and stuff.
Again, everyone's definition can be different.
That's true. So, Yeah, it is a dirty iPad case. I know. It's so old.
Is this washable?
I don't know, but I have two, so you might as well try
Ooh.
and see what happens.
Yeah.
Because if it ruins it, then I'll just switch to a different case. This is an old iPad, though. Hi from Palo Alto Bay Area. Oh, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it.
Hi.
Uh,
Have we ever been to Palo Alto?
I think so, yeah. Don't we go through that a few times?
I can't
I'm
remember.
pretty sure. Scott said, in 2018, I went to Munich, Florence, Paris, and London. It was a wonderful trip, but if you're going to Italy especially, I highly recommend Florence. It's beautiful. Yeah, I've heard great things.
Great things. My friend, who's German, she was living in Pisa for like months. She lived there for like 6 months, doing like a school abroad thing, and then she had lived there for another 3 months just because she loved it so much. Mm-hmm. So yeah, heard lots of good things about Italy.
So where all have you been in Europe?
So I've been in Italy twice, Germany twice.
Wow.
Ireland twice. The UK once, just England. Mm-hmm. The Czech Republic also twice, I think. Sorry, I can't keep track of all the times.
Okay.
I need to start writing them
late.
down.
It's all right.
Yeah.
That's cool. You've definitely got me beat.
Yeah, but I would like to travel more and be like less, or I guess more touristy, because whenever I went there, we were always living with like someone who just lived there, and we didn't really like explore as much. Like when I went to Italy, we lived in a town, or stayed in a town called Ivrea, and it's close to Milan. It's northern Italy, so it's more, I'd say, rural, like countryside. We didn't really go to like Rome or those big cities, tourist traps, which I'd like to go there and not spend money.
Yeah.
But just like see all the architecture and see all the sculptures.
Yeah, of course. One question I think we glossed over earlier because we were addressing something else, but Kaz asked if we were open to college later down the road.
Personally, no. I'm not. Sometimes I do regret dropping out of college.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, like, what would I do with that college degree? Because I just see everyone, like, complaining about how working sucks, and I just don't really see myself, like, doing anything more meaningful just because I have a degree. And school is just, like, not my vibe.
Yeah.
Well, school and working. Maybe if I could just focus on school, then it's a different story. But I don't have that luxury.
I think degrees are good if you have a specific goal in mind. I would not recommend pursuing college and a degree if you're not really sure what you want to do, because it's a quick way to accumulate a lot of high expenses, oftentimes debt with student loans.
Yeah.
And if you're not really sure what you want to do, then there's no real path out of that. You might decide after you've gotten your major, oh, this isn't what I want to do, and you're going to find yourself working a completely different job to pay off the student loans. So I think that colleges are trying their best to let you not think about the expense and just think about the experience, but it's probably one of the most expensive things you could do aside of, buying a house. Yeah. And at least a house will appreciate over time, whereas if you don't find a job to get with that degree, that loan is just going to follow you around. Not everybody will get loans, that's not what I'm saying, but a degree doesn't mean debt. There's ways to get it without debt, but I just mean if you have a goal in mind, that's the best way to do it. And I think
neither of us really had a goal involving a degree.
No, not really. Because I went into college wanting to do YouTube full time, and I was just like, this will let me spend less time at school, therefore I can spend more time on YouTube.
Yeah.
And there wasn't really a degree that existed for this job. It wasn't.
Media?
I took Mass Media and Society, I took Intro to Business, and I took film, and none of it was useful. It was all just kind of textbook, like, answer these questions, and I don't use any of the things they taught me from that, because they didn't teach me much. You
probably knew more than the teacher.
I probably didn't, but the teacher's just not saying very much. But it was like really, really basic editing classes. They were not very in depth. So I was like, this isn't for me. I'm not saying like I would rather go homeless on the street than go back to college.
Yeah.
But I would need a very specific...
Education is important.
Yeah.
But also, like, direction is important in education.
Sure. If you've got, if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be a doctor or a teacher, there are very specific routes to take, or a nurse.
Yeah.
Those things you need very specific schooling for, and that's what college is for. But if you're kind of just like trying to feel things out, at least try to find an affordable college if you're weighing things out, because I've just seen too many people not really know what to do and rack up huge
I feel like
bills.
that was a lot of my classmates in college. Was like, I don't really know what I want to do after this.
But they go to a big college and blow a bunch of money on it. And it follows
no judgment.
them around.
If that's your prerogative, you do it.
It's true. Let's see. I hated school. Graduating high school was so hard for me for some reason. 3 years later, I tried community college, and I was reminded why I hated school. Plus, it was all online. See, I kind of missed all that. I was out before online school really became a pretty prevalent thing.
Right.
I think I would have liked it more than in person, but yeah, a lot of things would have to go wrong for me to go back.
Hopefully it doesn't come to that.
I think I'm gonna plan my life around ensuring I don't have to go back to school. It's like,
this is the way.
Yeah, I definitely did not enjoy it, unfortunately, and couldn't wait to be done. Like, even just working at the Mandarin Ranch, I was just happy to be not at school, because I'm like, at least I'm making money.
Yeah.
Whereas school is like you're losing money and time, and you're not usually enjoying it. So I was like, I want to be done with this as soon as possible. So ensuring that we position our future so that we don't have to go back to college is that's a pretty top goal for me.
Yeah. So after we buy our Tesla, we're gonna go back to investing again.
Mm-hmm. Someone asked earlier how it was going. Should we provide an update? Oh, okay.
We haven't invested anything.
No, they were going to ask how the Tesla fund was coming.
Well, we posted, was it 35K last month on the Patreon?
I think so, yeah.
We're still about that much, 35 and some change for emergency fund. Mm-hmm. But we'll get there.
We're on track, pretty sure, because we're not insistent on selling stock to help pay for the car, but
it's a possibility.
It's a possibility if need be. So at this point, it's not really it's not up in the air. Can we buy it or not? It's it's gonna happen. We're pretty sure.
As long as it's in July.
Yeah.
If they say it's ready tomorrow, then probably not.
Yeah, that we might have to. Yeah, I don't think we could do it tomorrow. But we have Google estimates coming in, so we know what to expect over the next couple months.
Yeah.
So we should be good.
That's true. Can we wrap up, honey?
Yeah, we should wrap up. I appreciate the tech questions, but we got to save those for the tech streams.
But he does those a lot, guys. So just tune in.
I'll do a lot, so I'll answer your question in the next one. But appreciate you all for joining the second attempt of this podcast.
Thank you for your patience.
I have no idea why it had to be so complicated the first time, but let us know if you want more of these, and as soon as
don't.
Or let us know if you don't.
We'll see you next April 1st.
Oh, we just do this once a year?
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
We'll do them if we feel like it.
Yeah, we'll play it by ear.
Yeah.
Thanks all. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Oh, do I have to press stop?
Yeah, just click.